The Bengals put up 38 points, which tied the second most they've scored all year, but it wasn't enough to stop the second-best passing day of Russell Wilson's career in Pittsburgh's 44-38 victory. Joe Burrow also threw for 3 touchdowns, finished 28-38 for 309 yards, but hurt his own cause when he fumbled in the first half, leading to a Steelers field goal and threw a second-half interception. Joe's cool. Talk to me.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it for the pressure on me to be great. That's part of playing quarterback in the NFL. I have to play to the absolute peak of my ability every week for us to go and win.
Do you want to react to that before we get into the debate?
He's not lying. He's not lying.
Well, you say he's great. Because every time they come out with a stat, you talk about he better than Lamar, he better than Josh, he better than this, because you had him ranked above Josh Allen at the beginning of the year. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Dan, how much of
He's
the loss?
unbelievable.
How much of the loss is on Burrow?
There's 53 guys. I'd put him at 53. There's no one on the team that I would blame less than Joe Burrow. There's nothing that Joe Burrow could have done.
Despite 3 turnovers yesterday?
You want to get into the turnovers?
Yeah, I want to get into them.
All right, so which one do you want to get that we're going to put on the quarterback?
Which one do you want to get it? Take the strip sacks.
Which one?
Either one.
Okay, so the first strip sack, there's literally nothing Burrow can do. He climbs in the pocket. He's got 2 hands on the football, which he does routinely, and T.J. Watt reaches with his left hand. This is a great play by T.J. Watt. If Joe had it in one hand, Shannon, we could have a different conversation. That's a great play by
Protect the ball.
That's a great – he is.
No, he's not. He got it out.
There's nothing else he could do in that moment except
Go ahead.
That one right there, the left tackle barely touches Herbert.
You can make that argument about everybody that gets strip sacked from the back.
Shannon, he's about to throw the ball in time. There's nothing he could do. That's a great play by TJ. The other team, there's nothing he could do here. There's literally nothing he could do.
Not turn the ball over. That's the only.
He's going to throw the ball, and the left tackle doesn't touch the.
All I'm saying, you see what you did? So I can make that argument for Daniel Jones. Had the offensive line blocked better?
Come on.
Had he not? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because we like a guy.
We're not doing is putting Daniel Jones and Joe Burrow in the same conversation.
All I know. How about this here? The Bengals have the 6th worst defense in football. Patrick Mahomes took a team to the AFC Championship with the 2nd worst. I'm just reading the stats.
No, they don't. That's the worst defense in football right now.
I'm just saying.
That's the worst defense in football right now.
That's not what NFL's not calling.
So you mean to tell me that you're pinning yesterday on Joe?
Hold on. This is what I know. If he says he has to play at his best. If your defense can't stop anybody, what can't you do as an offense?
Shannon,
No, don't say Shannon. That's my name. I know my name. Even they gave me a name tag and everything. If your defense can't stop anybody, what can't you do at the quarterback position?
A lot of things. One, you can't not score.
You can't turn the ball over.
Shannon, there's nothing he could do. The interception is tipped twice. It got tipped by the defense, and it goes off T. Higgins. T.J. Watt makes a great play. There's nothing the quarterback can do there other than be Hercules in the moment. The sack fumble, he goes 1, 2, 3, balls coming out. He can't see behind him.
So in other words, anytime the quarterback. So now moving forward, Stephen A., what we can do, if we like said quarterback, there's nothing he could do. The ball got tipped. He got strip sacked. He was protecting the ball. He had both hands.
Do you think Dan plays favorites?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody does. Everybody. So, hold on. No, because I'm not letting. In their 8 losses this year, he's got 21 touchdowns and 3 picks.
Yes.
He historically, did you see the stat from Doug Clawson? They got 6 losses this year when they've scored 25 or more.
Yes.
That's the most in the history of the NFL.
4 when they've scored 33 or more.
They got 4 with 33 and more, 3 with 34 and more, and 2 with 38 and more. In the history of the NFL. What are we going to put on the quarterback?
Okay, that week, they lost week 2 to the Chiefs. Tell the people at home about Joe Burrow's strip sack return, a scoop and score.
Strip sack by Chris Jones, I think, led to a touchdown.
I want you to explain it to the people.
They don't lose the game if there's not pass interference on 4th and 16.
Let me ask you a question. Was it a PI?
Yes.
Okay, the Ravens, they're winning the game. Tell people at home what Joe Burrow did, what Marlon Humphrey did.
Marlon Humphrey stepped in front of a slant when Jamar Chase
He stepped in front of it. I can make that case with everybody.
With the pick 6 yesterday that Russell throws, is that all on Russ?
when you turn the ball over, has a big impact on the game. All turnovers aren't created equal, Dan. You know that.
Dude, but your point, if all turnovers aren't created equal, then how do we pin everyone on Joe Burrow?
All I'm saying is, if you know your defense is porous, the one thing you can't do
is not score.
Not turn the ball over.
Is not Shannon. What do you want the Steelers
What about the interception?
to do?
Hold on, all I'm saying is this: had he not given the Steelers 10 points, they win the ball game.
No, they don't.
They win the
He's
ball.
got to score.
They win the ball
40.
game 38-34.
He
He gave up 10 points. He gave up 10. So the final score would have been 38-34.
Shannon, there's no way that you could sit here realistically and think that Joe Burrow didn't play well enough again yesterday to clearly win the football game. The interception gets tipped twice. There's literally nothing the human
How about I
can
do you this one? You know a guy named Peyton Manning?
Yes.
When he's putting up all those stats and he was losing, did we give him the benefit of the doubt?
I don't remember.
I remember because I was on there at CBS. We killed him. I remember he came to Meadowlands at the time and he lost 41-0.
What
the
in
championship
rookie year?
Destroyed.
The year that he was winning MVP, he's putting up numbers. His defense was awful. You didn't make excuses like you do for Joe. Nobody.
Shannon, he's got 21 touchdowns and 3 interceptions and 8 losses.
I want Stephen A to get on this, but I've never seen a guy get more mileage out of going to the Super Bowl and losing than one Joe Burrow. We hold that. That's the golden halo. That's the bubble. It's almost like Michael Jackson when he was in the bubble. You couldn't touch him. He was afraid of germs. Now he's afraid of criticism because he's put a bubble around him.
Well, I don't know how we could search out. If you want to criticize Burrow for this season or yesterday, you are literally just searching for a way to knock him. Well, he has been an MVP level player this year.
Yes, but he's turning the ball over at the most inopportune of times.
Shannon, he's got freaking 6 losses when he scored 25. He historically is losing games when no one else has done it with the way their offense is playing.
The most calm on the show. So
Finally.
That's breaking news. That's number one. Number two, Dan, I get what you're saying from the standpoint. You look at Joe Burrow, leads the NFL passing yards, touchdown passes, passer rating, 3rd in the NFL in QBR. I get all of that. But what's the word out about Joe Burrow? He's been fantastic this year, except the turnovers. That's what they say about him. That's what they've said about him.
Who's they?
I'm just talking about folks that are analyzing the game. You might not have said it. You might not have said it, but people are saying that. We've seen a guy like Joe Burrow, for example, you're putting up points, but at an inopportune time, okay, you allow a strip sack to take place. You sit up there and you might throw an interception. We've seen him do that. We've seen him miss a couple of throws he might have made all game long, and then all of a sudden something would happen. Where I get with Shannon is this. You are Joe Burrow. You are that dude, the one dude that has a successful record against Patrick Mahomes, by the way, especially in the regular. He beat him in the AFC Championship game as well. You show up on the football field, all right? You're putting up points, but then your defense might let you down. You still got the ball in your hands and an opportunity to close the deal, and that's something that hasn't been able to happen for them this year, especially Cincinnati was supposed to be in the picture, not Pittsburgh. Cincinnati was supposed to be the team that was giving the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, because they say the AFC goes through Cincinnati.
Not Pittsburgh, okay? So when we're looking at it from that standpoint, I don't think that can be ignored about Joe Burrow.
What do you mean by that?
Listen, again, it's about, listen, you know this better than me. It's about moments. And the reality is that numbers-wise, you look at Joe Burrow, there's not much to complain about. But there have been moments where the ball was in his hands, and he had an opportunity to
steal the game.
Is this a real conversation?
It's absolutely real.
It is a real conversation. And
this ain't Memorex. This ain't recorded.
That doesn't mean you throw him out with the bathwater. That doesn't mean that he's some scrub. The brother is an all-world player. I'm simply saying that in the end, you've had opportunities despite how derelict their defense was, and you didn't close. The ball was in your hands, and you couldn't get done when it counted. Excuse me, when you went up against Baltimore, you had an opportunity to win that game.
You had a 10-point lead.
They missed the field goal to win the freaking game.
No. You had an opportunity to win that game again.
They missed the field goal to win the game.
I understand that. Baltimore ultimately gets the football back, but you also knew your kicker was a question mark at that particular moment in time, getting down the field. Do what you got to do to win. Do it because that's what we see Patrick Mahomes do. That's the measuring stick.
Don't look over here
because
for support.
he's the guy
I got nothing.
beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC
This
Championship
might be
game.
the most mind-boggling conversation I've ever had on this show.
Really?
He said it himself. Do you know what it's like as a quarterback to have to walk out there and go,
Yeah.
I got to score 35 to have a chance to
Yeah,
win
Peyton Manning.
every week?
Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes had to do it, and they did it.
And Patrick Mahomes is in the conversation for the greatest ever, and Peyton Manning's a Hall of freaking Famer.
Stephen A., do you remember when people were having a conversation about Joe Burrow being just as good, if not better? They was having that conversation.
Because the
what?
play warrants the conversation.
Hold on. If it wants the conversation, do what Patrick Mahomes did.
Okay.
Get his team to the AFC Championship game.
When Joe Burrow took the Bengals and beat the Chiefs and went to the Super Bowl, what is the fundamental difference in the team?
He took care of football.
The defense was significantly better. The defense is the unit that beat, in part, Patrick Mahomes.
Now you want to mention the defense because you told me about Joe Burrow had got sacked 9 times in Tennessee. I've never seen a quarterback withstand that kind of pressure and win.
How many quarterbacks you taking over Joe Burrow?
I tell you what, I'm taking a bunch up right now. I'm taking Josh Allen, I'm taking Jared Goff, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes, I'm taking Lamar Jackson, because guess what?
I don't know about that Jared Goff one.
Hold on.
Shannon, I love you.
Guess what? Because guess what? I tell you what, if he get on Expedia, he can book his trip right now and save himself a lot of money. Because he'll be home. He will not be going to the playoffs.
Of course he'll be home. His defense is terrible.
Not his defense. The only time you mentioned you didn't mention the defense when they got to the Super Bowl. You talked about how great Joe B was.
We talked about Louis Rumo.
Joe B.
Shannon, he's lost 2 games when he scored 38.
He's playing great in a losing effort.
You got something against Joe Burrow?
I ain't got nothing. I guess I had something against Peyton Manning because I called Peyton Manning out.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Whoa. I called Aaron Rodgers out too.
But Peyton calling out Peyton ended up being a Hall of Fame quarterback. Joe Burrow's on track to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay. Ta-da!
So you mean
Thank you.
So you mean to tell me, honestly, that you think the shortcomings of the Bengals this year fall partly on Joe Burrow?
I'm saying it is his job as the quarterback to not put the ball in harm's way. He put the ball in harm's way. Look at the games they lost. They had a 7-point lead against Kansas City.
Okay, let me press pause. Where and when did he put the ball in harm's way yesterday?
The 3 turnovers.
No, put in harm's way. I didn't say result in turnover. When was the ball in harm's way?
When he had it in his hands. The guy knocked it out of his hand. The other guy scooped it up, and the referee made him smell the deodorant.
So you mean to tell me, as a Hall of Fame tight end,
yes,
you catch a ball down the seam, you cross cover it, you do everything your coach do, and a defender comes and makes an unbelievable play and knocks the ball out of your hands, you've put the ball in harm's way?
Yes, because my job is to protect it.